Hey everybody, happy Friday and welcome back to The Shawning. But before we get started today, I just want to say thank you because this morning I checked my channel and we hit 100 subs. So I was super happy to see that. And what a perfect way to start the weekend than by hitting 100 subs. So thank you, your support and everything is greatly appreciated. So, Rose Red is one of my favorite Stephen King movies ever, even though it's technically a mini-series. It's pretty much played as a movie now, but it is super underrated. And when I mean underrated, I mean it. Like, nobody really talks about this movie, and that's super upsetting, considering the fact that it is quite possibly one of the best haunted house films made. My mom loves Rose Red. It is her favorite, and about once a year we'll spend a day just watching it because it kind of takes a day to watch it, but it's worth it. So before I start talking about it, here is a clip of different clips of Rose Red. Alright, now, because for the sake of time and for the sake that I ramble so much, I'm just going to read the back of the movie to give you a quick summary of like kind of what's going on, and then I'll talk more in depth about it. But here we go. The chilling tale of Dr. Joyce Reardon, Nancy Travis, an obsessed psychology professor who commissions a team of psychics and a gifted 15-year-old autistic girl, Annie Wheaton, who literally wake up a supposedly dormant haunted mansion, Rose Red. Their efforts unleash myriad, I guess that's a word, spirits and uncover horrifying secrets of the generations who have lived and died there. Ooh. Okay, no, but in all seriousness, this is probably one of the most well thought out haunted house movies that at least I can think of. Because Stephen King directly well, not directly, but he based it loosely off of the Winchester House. Now, if you don't know what the Winchester House is, it's literally a house that this lady just kept building on and kept building and kept building and kept building. So there's like staircases that lead to nowhere. There's just random doors, just random. It's just a mystery house, and like you can't get through it sometimes because you'll get lost, yada yada yada. Okay, he took that, but then was like, hey, what if the house just kind of grew on its own after? So essentially, you know, that the house now just kind of builds itself and just kind of does whatever it wants to. And so now Joyce Reardon has to get the rest of her people. They go to Rose Red for the weekend, and then that's when things obviously go south. I do want to talk about the characters really quick because there's a few characters here that really knocked it out of the park. And in all seriousness, the cast for this miniseries was really stacked in my opinion. Obviously, you have Nancy Travis, and she, you know, she'd been playing in The Last Man Standing and a bunch of different things. I looked up her filmography, and it's impressive. You have Matt Kessler, who plays Steve Rimbauer, who was the grandson of Ellen Rimbauer. Again, Matt Kessler, he was in Scream 3. If you remember the actor who played as Dewey, playing as Dewey, that whole movie was a mess too, but you know who I'm talking about. And you also have this is the breakout role for Emily Deschanel, who plays Pam, and you'll also recognize her. She starred in Bones and several other different things. And then there's Matt Ross, who plays Emery. Matt Ross is awesome in this, okay? And I like Matt Ross anyway, because if you've seen American Horror Story, he also plays in that. He was Dr. Montgomery in season 1 of American Horror Story. And then, you know, there's the rest of the characters. You have Vic, Nick, Kathy, and of course there is Annie Wheaton, and her sister, Sissy, who was played by Melanie Linsky. I did not know how British she was, though. Like, time out and shock. But I was watching after the movie because they have the, extras. She is super British, and it just caught me so off guard. Anyway, I know that was random. And you also have David Duke, who played as Professor Miller, who unfortunately passed away during the filming of this, so that's why in the second part of Rose Red, he is not in it as much because he passed away before they could finish shooting. Rose Red did have a lot of things going against it, though, when it was trying to be created. One of the issues was the set itself, because you have to think of the amount of work that had to go into that set. And they really built the set, so the whole front of Rose Red, they had to, that's actually a house. They had to go different places to use different sections of other places to create this elaborate house that, in all seriousness, is in 5 or 6 different locations. Oh, and you also have to understand that this was made on a TV budget, not a movie budget, so they're not going to be able to do as much. So for them to not be able to do as much as a movie, but still make it look just like a movie would, I think that's impressive. You also have the fact that Stephen King went through that horrific accident when he got hit by the van during this. So this actually got pushed back because he almost died. I don't know if any of you know about that, but if you don't, I would definitely research it. He ended up buying the van that hit him and everything. It was kind of creepy, but that's Stephen King. He also does make a cameo in this movie, so that is super fun to see as well. So the house itself, gorgeous. The characters, amazing. So why don't we start with the effects now? Okay, the early 2000s is a really weird time for special effects and things like that, because CGI is starting to become, kind of popular, and practical effects are kind of dwindling. So, it's just kind of whatever. Stephen King still does what he does best and made it work either way. I think that for the time that this was made, the effects are good. Do I think that they are outstanding and amazing? No. But for something that was made for the TV, yes, it was really good. And you do have to think of it that way. It is not going to be that good. I mean, look at it. Perfect example. The 1991 with Tim Curry, which is my favorite movie of all time. And then you have the newer one. Both are good in their respective right, but they were done completely different because they had to. Because one was on a TV budget, and the other one was on a, film budget, a big screen budget. Now, I'm not saying that, they don't have any money, but it doesn't stretch as far when you're doing a TV series, and that is the score. Now, I'm not usually a big person, into scores or whatever. I'm not going to be sitting here just well, the score was not superb. I don't care that much. I'm a visual person. But this one, the score is great. I literally play it on my phone while I'm just doing things in my room because it is relaxing. And it fits beautifully with the film. The film is not a jump out, scary, grimy. It is elegant. The house is gorgeous, and it's a very nice slow pace. And I think that's why this haunted house works so well compared to the other ones, is because it has time. I think that if every haunted house film was allotted this much time, they would be good. I think that more people need to watch this movie, so that's why I'm talking about it, is because I'm hoping that y'all will watch this and be intrigued enough to go watch it, because I highly recommend it. It is one of the best Stephen King works out there. And once you watch it, you'll understand why. I mean, he really pulled out all the stops for this one. In fact, he was actually supposed to do this with Steven Spielberg. But there was creative differences. And so Stephen King, just took it and did it on his own. I am curious to see how that would have turned out, because I feel like that would have been awesome. The one scene I think that is absolutely amazing, that I made sure it was in the clip that I showed, is the statue at the end of part 1, where it just, you know, takes the face. It's simple. It's so creepy though. Like, can you imagine being in like a garden and like there just being like this statue chilling there, and she just rips off her face and then her eyes open? No, I'm good. I'll pass. Thank you. No. So overall, I give Rose Red like a 9 out of 10. Okay, because A, it is my favorite haunted house movie ever, and I think everyone needs to experience that. So please try to go watch this. If you just can't, you can probably find the majority of it on YouTube, honestly, or somewhere. There's someone who's probably posted the video somewhere. You could always try Etsy. That's where I go to get like cheap DVDs. So I don't know, just try to find it, give it a watch. If you have watched it, let me know what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.